welcome to another episode of the Dear to Me Knits podcast. My name is Dearyg. You can find me on Ravelry and Instagram as Dear to Me Knits. We also have a Ravelry group that is the Dear to Me Knits podcast Ravelry group. And yeah, thank you so much for coming back. Really appreciate you hanging out with me today. And if you are a new viewer, welcome. And I hope you find something you can enjoy watching here. And yeah. So we are coming off of Thanksgiving last week, and it was a lot of fun. I got to see my family, and it was just really laid back and relaxed. I know the holidays can be super stressful for some people, but no family drama here. So it was just really, really a good time. Lots of really good food, and yeah, I really enjoyed myself. I got quite a bit of knitting done, which is really good. And yeah, I'd like to keep my life pretty boring. Boring life is lots of knitting time. I'm not a huge drama person. I don't find it interesting. I find it exhausting. So I keep things pretty boring. But yeah, so I don't think I have any finished objects this week. I could have, but I'll explain that in a minute. So I will, well, actually, I sort of have a finished object. Look at this. I was bored while I was cooking supper. So I took the leftover mohair, this white, from my granito sweater, and then this purple kind of DK weight random scrap that I had, and I made this. It's massive and it's so soft. I love it. I have zero plans for this. I was just like, I wonder, so I have this pom-pom maker that I used to make the pom-pom for the hat that I showed last time, but I have a size bigger than this. So I was like, I wonder how big of a pom-pom that makes, because that one makes a decent sized pom-pom, right? So I had to try it. And I love this thing so much. It reminds me, okay, so this is probably really obscure. I don't know how many people would know this, but there used to be a game on my computer when I was a teenager, on my parents' computer called Chisel. And it was basically these little fuzzy balls, and you had to like slide the rows to match them up, or the columns to match them up. Pretty much like any game on the, like any app game now, but back then it was like a huge deal, because you know there weren't that many games out there quite like that yet. So yeah, they were basically just pom-poms with little googly eyes. And so this totally reminds me of a Chisel for some reason, and I love it. I love it. It has a kept a pretty long tail, but it's really heavy. I don't think that it would go great on the top of a hat. So I just have been rubbing it on my face. I like it. It makes me happy. Just a big fluffy ball. Anyways, so if you want to count that as a finished object, there you go. Just gonna set that here. Wad the tail up on the bottom so that it just looks super cute, just chilling there. Boom. Now we have a pet. That can be my mascot. Maybe I'll get some googly eyes for it. And we'll have a podcast Chisel. Anyways, okay. So the bulk of my knitting, which when I was getting stuff together to bring down here to show you, it was like, I did a lot more knitting than I thought. So the bulk of my knitting was done on Dad's sweater. I tried it on him. He kept his eyes closed, and I tried it on him to make sure I was on the right track when we went up for Thanksgiving, and it all looked good. So I have attached the sleeves to the body and done quite a few raglan decreases here. And I'm just about ready to finish up the collar. And then, let's see, hold it up so you can see. And then later this week, I was trying so hard to finish it last night so I could actually steek it like on today's episode. I got so sick to my stomach. Plus I had my live knit night on Zoom, and so I was just like, this is not getting done. I probably could have, but I decided to just take it easy. So possibly Wednesday or Thursday, keep an eye on Instagram, and I will cut this baby open live in living color. We'll just slice her in half, see what happens. So did I bring it? No, I don't think I did. I have the yarn picked out that I'm gonna reinforce the steek with. I'm going to do a crochet steek reinforcement. I like the idea of doing the machine, like sewing machine reinforcement, but I don't have a sewing machine, and I just don't want to carve out the time to go to my mother-in-law's and do that, and like mess around with her settings on her machine and all that stuff. I'm not super familiar with sewing. So I decided to just do a crochet steek because I feel comfortable crocheting. The way you do it is you pick a weight of yarn, one weight lighter, so that's bulky weight, so I'm going to use a worsted weight yarn, and I'm using white because when I do the button band, it's all going to be encased, so you won't see it. So I was just like, I'll just do white because then I know that I'll be able to see, it'll definitely be contrasty enough, but not like outlandish like orange or something, you know what I mean. But so I'm going to do it in a worsted weight white yarn. I haven't picked out the hook I'm going to use yet, but actually there's one on the floor. There's everything on the floor. If you saw this room, you'd be like, how do you call yourself an adult? My craft room is just, it looks like Jumanji in here. But yeah, anyway, so I see a hook that's probably the right size over there that I'll pick up after I'm done talking and put in my bag. So yeah, so I'm really, really excited with my progress on that because Christmas is still a month away and it's almost done. Probably, hopefully, not promising though, I will have a finished object for next episode. So I'm pretty stoked about that. Oh, it's a cat. Okay, sorry. I heard a whine and I just wanted to make sure that it wasn't the napping child. In a napping house where no one now is sleeping. Sorry. Nobody gets that. That's a very obscure joke. It's a children's book. The other thing that I gave myself permission on Thanksgiving once I realized just how far along I actually was on Dad's sweater. And also kind of at a stopping point because I didn't want to join the sleeves to the body until I knew that that everything was the right length and width and all that stuff. And I didn't want to haul Mom's blanket everywhere because it's just so big. I gave myself permission to cast on a pair of socks for myself. I had cast-on-itis so bad. And I was like, okay, worsted weight socks are going to go crazy fast. So this is Knit Picks Felice worsted in the hibiscus colorway. And I usually, like I started them toe up, obviously. And I usually would just knit them 2 at a time, but this is only a 32-inch cable. So I'm doing them 1 at a time. And actually, let's see, this one I had totally done, but then I frogged back because the foot was just a little long. So when I started the second one, I stopped a little shorter for the heel. And then I went back and ripped this one back to the same place to put the heel in. Which I kind of like the effect that it gives because it's like half and half. And the same on this one, half and half. Which obviously the colors are not the same on either sock. I don't care. They're worsted weight socks that I am going to be so comfy in, and that's all I care about. So yeah. I did the heel on the way to see Fantastic Beasts this past weekend on this one. Redid the heel. And only got about this much done. My husband really does not like when I knit at the movies or like at dinner or stuff like that. So I knit in the car, but I didn't knit the actual movie because he just thinks it's annoying. He's like, well, I don't sit there and play on my phone. It's like, yeah, but knitting's different. I can look around and hold a conversation, but he just digs in his heels, and I'm like, well, you know, whatever. And actually, Fantastic Beasts, like, deserved my full attention anyway, I think. I'm a huge Harry Potter nerd, so. So anyway, these are almost at the same thing. Well, I got about one more stripe. Oh, a stripe and a half more on this one. But these are my car socks now, which I got caught by a train yesterday driving home from taking the kids to school in the morning. So I was like, thank goodness I have my knitting. So this whole yellow stripe was knit waiting for that stupid train to go by, driving home from taking the kids to school. So there's that. Anyway. So, yeah, I don't know when those will be done, but I'm going to be absolutely thrilled when they are because worsted weight socks, just the coziest thing you can imagine. Then, oh my gosh, what a mess. There's stuff everywhere. You'll see why in a minute, but yeah, there's just like needles everywhere. I worked on this mostly last night, but I had cast it on, I forget why I cast this on. Well, I mean, it's a hat for my grandpa in the college colors that he likes. It's just, it's the Harlow Hat by Andrea Mowry. And the red is, Knitter's Gonna Knit. That's not Beauty Mark yarn in her old version of Just a Flesh Wound. She has a new version now that has a little bit more of a, not variegation, but like speckliness to it with a little bit of white in there too. Which is super pretty. She is knitting a pair of mitts with it right now. So if you want to see them worked up, I think they're on her Instagram. And the white is just a random ball of like Chinese yarn that I have. I don't know what. I know it's acrylic, but yeah, that's all I know. It was marked as milk cotton, which is just a total joke because it's 100% acrylic. Whatever. But so yeah, and I am doing it both colors in one pass. I prefer to do it that way. It just feels a little quicker to me. I don't know if it actually is, but it feels quicker. And especially since I've been doing Dad's colorwork sweater, it just has become more natural feeling to have both of the yarns in my hand at the same time. So yeah, the first time I tried one pass brioche like that, my tension was all over the place, and it's still not like impeccable, you know. I mean, it's not like absolutely, let me see if I can hold it still for you. It's not perfect by any means, but it's definitely, you know, solid. It's good. I wouldn't look at it and be like, so you made this in kindergarten? Anyways, so yeah, I worked on this last night while I was doing my live, which is where most of this, the bulk of this work came from, but I cast it on for some reason. I was gonna wait till Dad's sweater was done. Actually, I cast this thing on like 3 or 4 times, following the pattern that she wrote. So like there's kids, adult small, and adult large. I was like, well, it's for a man, so I'll do the adult large. Dude, it was like this big around my neckline, which I didn't even talk about what I'm wearing. I will in a minute. Yeah, humongous. And I was like, that's not gonna work. So I ripped that out and cast on the adult small. Nope. So, and every time I cast on using the cast on she recommends, which is the 2-color tubular cast on, that thing is a pain in the butt. So yeah, after a couple tries, I was like, I give up. But I got a wild hair the other day and cast it on, and yeah. So it's Indiana University colors, and I really like it. And I love that it's reversible. I love this side. I might make this right side out whenever I give it to him. Which it's just, I am going to send it to him in the mail. Yeah, look at that. That's pretty. Anyway, so yeah, Papa's Harlow Hat by Andrea Marie. And then Mom's Blanket. I measured Mom's Blanket. I'll show you how much progress I made on it. Oh, this is a mess. Set this to the side. All the needles are falling out of it. It was 34 inches, Mom's Blanket is, which is a little over halfway. Needles trying to fall out on me here. So yeah, it's big. And after I finish Dad's sweater, it's pretty much going to be all blanket all the time. Minus, you know, car socks or whatever. But yeah. I'm really going to push to get this done by Christmas. There is the nipple tassel of progress. Get her shiny side out for you so you can get the full bling. So yeah. That's definitely some work that I got done. I'm pretty proud of that. And like I said, I'm just over halfway, 34 inches out of 60. Woo-hoo. So, just keep plugging away at this thing. There's not really much exciting stuff to tell. When I get to probably about 18 inches from the end, I'm gonna do a couple stripes of ecru, which there's not gonna be a whole heck of a lot of, yeah, you can kind of see there, of contrast, but I showed it to Mom and she literally was like, eee! So she likes it. That's what counts, right? So yeah, that's Mom's Blanket, and that's the end of the whips. So, I'll show you what I'm wearing real quick. So I am wearing Boxy by Joji Locatelli. I'll show you. Yeah, I love how it's draping in the front, but I really need to block it because the back is a hot, look at this. The ribbing is flipping up and it's all wrinkly. This is the first time I've worn it this season, so it's been in storage and not not draping and airing out and all that good stuff. But yeah, so this is out of my handspun. I took an undyed pound of comb top, merino superwash top, and I took it, like, not braided or anything, I think. Don't hold me to that. I'm pretty sure it wasn't braided though. Took both of the ends of the long, I don't remember what it's called, the long strip, and put both of the ends in the dye pot at the same time, and I used Wilton's Violet food coloring with vinegar, and the Wilton's Violet breaks, which means the red absorbs into the yarn, or the wool, before the blue does. So when I put it in, it sucked up all the red, and then I dip dyed it. So the more I dipped, the less red there was, and it turned to only blue. And then went all the way out to this really pretty, like, super light aqua that I really, really, really love. And then I broke the long strip in half, and I spun both ends with the red side, or pink, it's kind of purpley, burgundy, whatever. But so I spun it red end to blue end on both of them, and then plied them together to make a 2-ply gradient, basically. So yeah, that's that. And then yeah, this was my actual first, I said my Comfort Fade Cardi was, but it was not. This is my first adult garment, and Boxy is an amazing first garment because the fit is so forgiving. Yeah, you can't really go wrong because the neckline is also a little wide, so as long as you can get your arms in the sleeves, basically you can't make a mistake on this sweater. Like, it's just the absolute best beginner sweater ever, in my opinion. There's just no shaping, minimal amounts. I mean, there's short rows at the shoulder, but it's in garter, so it's not even that bad. It's just all amazing and wonderful. Of course, Joji Locatelli is my knitting goddess. I worship at the feet of Joji Locatelli. But yes, so that's my Boxy. And I go back and forth all the time, like, maybe I should just tear it out and try again, but today I'm like, no, that looks good. Well, I'm crazy. Don't listen to me. Oh, anyways, okay, so I will get into acquisitions. So it's been Get Your Yarn Wishes Granted on Instagram, which I love. I saw it last year, but kind of by the time I knew what it was and how to participate, it was basically over. Like, people were still posting, but it was at the stage where kind of there weren't that many people participating anymore, you know. If you start from the beginning, then by Christmas you're like, listen, I bought a lot of stuff for people. I can't spend any more money. So, okay, so hang on. Let me just let all these needles fall off of here that are going to fall off. I folded it up and put it in that bag, and some of the needles were like, well, that's not working for me, so I'm just going to bail. Okay, so this is a knitting needle organizer that is like these. I kind of just want to take off because I'll never use them anyway. I hate them. Yes, I will. Offensive. Cheap needles. Anyway, so this is a knitting needle organizer. It has a slit for like your shorter circumference needles and then a bigger one for bigger circumference needles. I'm going from 0 at the top down. There's a lot of spaces for needles. This was a gift to me from my best friend Mariah, and it is, oh gosh, the Etsy shop is called Buttermilk Cottage, and I will link it and everything I talk about, all the patterns and yarn companies and everything in the description box below. But yeah, so I'm gonna get just like a nondescript stocking hanger from the store and probably hang it on the side of my shelf over here to organize my knitting needles, half of which have fallen out of here. But it's gonna be really, really nice because then I'll be able to find my needles, because these are all the needles that were just, and not even all because half of them fell out, all needles that were just like in my living room couch or like on the table or like poking out from underneath the rug. I'm telling you, I'm just not a real grown-up. Like, you know, when you were a kid and your room was a mess and your parents would be like, clean your room or else. Now I'm a grown-up and nobody's telling me to clean my room, and my room is the entire house. Yeah. So actually my mom is coming to visit Friday, so I've been panic cleaning a little bit. My husband gets home and he's like, did you have somebody over to clean today? No, I actually can do it. I just hate it, so I usually don't. And I have 4 kids who also are just like, throw it on the floor. So the floor is the biggest shelf in our house. It's really a problem. But anyways, thank you, Mariah, for contributing to my rehabilitation ever so slightly. Then I bought my, I'll save that since I bought it for myself. I do not remember names, but I will write, I think it's gonna be over here. I'll write it on the screen to properly thank the people that sent me this yarn. But so this is junk yarn, color inspired by women, which I love. And this is Diane, but it's spelled like D-I-A-N. Diane. I love the way she labels this because it says, hello, my name is Diane. And it's gorgeous, like bluish green with little spots of black and kind of a gold and brown. Oh, and little bits of coral kind of color. Absolutely, absolutely love. Look, I love this swath right there with all the brown in it. Yes, love this. So, yeah, I just cannot remember names. I want to say this was from Yarn Nest. I do not remember. I'm so sorry. But I will properly thank in the comments. Or not comments, but captions. So this is wonderful. I did rearrange my shelf a little bit. So these two cubbies are all the yarn that I have earmarked for sweaters. Or this, well, yes, this is a shawl. Everything else, sweaters. So, yeah. Actually, well, I have one more sweater quantity, but I don't actually have it technically, like I have a sweater quantity, but I don't know what sweater I want to make with it yet. All of these, I know exactly what sweater I'm making with them, so holy crap. That's a lot of sweaters. Hope you're ready. It's gonna be the year of the sweater in 2019. Supposedly this year was the year of the garment for the rest of the world, but I'm late to the party as usual. Anyway, I'm gonna put Diane in her new home. Welcome to the family. Then from the lovely Shauna Stitches, this is in a very loud package, so I'm very sorry. I have to do that. Unless you like it, and then you're welcome for the little bonus ASMR, because that's a thing. Okay, she always puts a little cotton ball with essential oil on it in her packages, so as soon as I opened the mailbox and smelled it, I was like, Shauna's is here! Look at this. This is so soft and like light. Oh my goodness. And it smells good because she put the essential oil. Like, I just want to like wear it like a cowl, basically. So this is not actually her hand dyed. This is from Yarn Cafe Creations. And she actually is one half of the Girls in the Yarn Cafe podcast, and her daughter is Dragon Horde Yarn. So yes, this is Christy, who is the mom of Dragon Horde Yarn, and her company is called Yarn Cafe Creations. So this is tonal mauve on her fluffy sock base, and guys, this is legitimately fluffy, like holy balls. I love it so much. And this color is breathtaking. So I had a turtleneck, like a gray and mauve and like olive green all over paisley motif turtleneck when I was in like fourth grade. It's Miss Francisco's class. 4th grade, and I despised this turtleneck with every fiber of my being. I thought mauve was the stupidest, ugliest color I'd ever seen, and now I'm like, man, I wish I still had that turtleneck. The things turning into an adult does to you. You suddenly love mauve and peas. And whatever. Nope, not a baby. Okay, so I'm gonna put tonal mauve in its new home. Okay, so I cleaned out my cubby of fingering weight yarn, and it's still out of control. I'm gonna need to marl or fade or something, get some stuff out of there. Okay, last gift to me is from Norah George Yarns. Look at her label. Is that not just this? Look at this little bird. Oh my goodness. Yes, I love it very much. Luxury hand-dyed yarn. It's all luxury, but I love it when they write it on there. It just makes it like what's the word I'm looking for? Affirms that you're buying the good stuff. So this is in their Time Turner colorway. It is 75/25, just your good old standard sock yarn. Yeah, it's probably like a 4-ply. And Time Turner is a Harry Potter reference, which I totally love. But it's not like an overtly Harry Potter-y looking yarn, which I also really like. I love the brightness of it a lot. A lot. I would not have picked out this yarn for myself, but I totally love it. Totally love it. So I'm super excited about that. Harry Potter yarn. Yay. So, and like I said, I will put the name of the lovely person who gifted that to me on the screen because I do not remember. And I think I still have one more coming. So I can show you that next time. Okay, so I bought a couple of things. There was an Etsy shop that I stumbled upon called Woolture. It's like culture, except with wool instead of coal at the beginning. And they were having a really good sale on their 2-ply wool. And it looked in the picture, sorry, I'm like staring at my lap for some reason. It looked in the picture like it was going to be very similar to fennel. And it's not exactly, it's quite a bit lighter. Like, I don't know if I would call it lace weight, but it's, let's see if I can. It's definitely lighter. You can see there. A little bit thinner than fennel. But I got cream and purple. And I just really liked these colors, and I thought that they went nicely together. This color in particular, I really love. I'm really into this, like, not like grayish cream. I don't know, it's not dark enough to be taupe, I think, but it's just this really light grayish, like almost white, but it's not white, and it's not cream, and it's not gray, and it's not tan. I just love it. I love colors that you're like, I don't even know what color that is. I really love it. So, and then this really nice blue base purple. So yeah, I just they were very on sale, and so I was like, well, I'll get those because they're part of the kids' school colors, so I can always, oh, not that one, I can always use them for that. I'm gonna put them down here. So I can always use them for hats, or, and actually, since they're so light, I thought, dang, those would look good marled together. Yes. So I very well may marl those for a hat someday. Got, the baby's not even, he just turned 2, so we have a long relationship with this school ahead. I've got time. So the last thing I bought from a D-stash. It is self-striping. And I've been wanting some self-striping yarn for myself because I have some for my husband, and I'm really jealous that I'm probably not gonna get to use any of it for me. So I bought this, but the reason that I wanted self-striping, but the reason I actually bought this one is because of this. It is Molly Weasley, Harry Potter. So, yeah, I'm so excited. I love this orange and the black and the pink and the purple and the teal. Oh, and the gold in there. There's a lot of colors in this. I'm very excited to knit this up. So I'm not sure when I'm gonna get to. Lydia is, like, I cast on those worsted socks, and she was like, it's not your turn for socks. You need to be knitting socks for me. I was like, sorry. Let me get right on that. So, okay, sock yarn goes down here. But yeah, so I don't know when I'm gonna get to cast those on, but oh, I just want to, like, right now. I want to throw everything else out the window and be like, Molly Weasley socks. So, self-control, Dearney, self-control. So yeah, I think the only thing left is to talk about our knit along, which is wrapping up very soon. At midnight on New Year's Eve, the knit along will be over. It is the Make 9 Along, hashtag Make 9 Along. And basically anything from your Make 9 or your Q that you've been meaning to make and haven't gotten around to yet. To enter, you go to our Ravelry group, post your screenshot of your Make 9 or your Q with the pattern in it, cast on, get her done. Post a picture of your finished object in the appropriate finished object thread. There's one for 150 grams or less and 150 grams or more than 150 grams. And from there, I will draw winners from each group. I have one prize right here. This is Shipwrecked Sheep. Hang on. See if I can see what the base is called. Get down there. Jazz Sock in the Dirty Beach colorway, which I absolutely love. And yeah, I'm gonna pair this with a project bag that is being donated by the lovely from the south of home, who makes absolutely wonderful project bags. And then she will be donating a project bag for the other group as well, for both groups, which I will pair with a yarn yet to be announced. If I don't get some from a dyer, then I will go ahead and pick a yarn out of my stash. But yeah, so it's a lot of fun. We've got a fair few number of entries in both groups already, so head on over to the Ravelry group, link will be down below, and get in on that action. And yeah, I can't think of anything else to talk about. I hope I remembered everything. I always remember at least one thing that I wanted to say and didn't, so that kind of, it just happens. It's part of it, I guess. I'm sure other podcasters do that too. Anyway, thank you so much for hanging out with me this week. You guys are so dear to me. I really appreciate all your comments and messages and likes and shares and all that stuff. It's really weird seeing my face on people's televisions. And so yeah, I'm a TV star, I guess. Anyways, you guys have a good couple of weeks. Have fun Christmas shopping and all that crazy stuff, and I'll see you soon. Bye.